Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 Wii review. Today I'm going to be taking a look at Manhunt 2, which if you've never played it before, basically an action-y type stealth game. It's mainly stealth, but there is some action there. This one, to be fair, is more action than the first one and less stealth. At the start you just get to select your profile so you can continue, new game, load game, etc. From there you can go into the settings. You've got brightness, audio, controls. The controls are pretty much useless for having there though, because you can't actually change anything other than inverting your look. You can also change difficulty. So I'm just going to continue treatment, and seeing as I don't think you can skip past after these cutscenes and loadings, I'm just going to cut them myself. So there we go then, that's the loading and that done. That's pretty much one of the few downsides to the game it has. Some cutscenes can be skipped, some can't be skipped, and it's annoying if you've watched a cutscene over and over again, though the loading time's also a bit bad. But before I go any further, I should have said this right at the start, the game's very violent. If you don't like violent things, leave now, because there is a reason that the game was almost banned. So anyway, whole point is, it's pretty much similar to the first game. You've got stealth, you've got to sneak around and that, you've got to find weapons and stuff. So, thankfully, find a brick there, smash the window open, and then hopefully there should be a glass shard from the window, which means I can use that as a weapon. Because, like, the bricks and all that aren't really much weapons, because they're just supposed to be, like, there for you to be able to throw them and stuff. So, they're for, like, distractions, smashing windows, as you just saw. One of the other annoying things is the game holds your hand the entire way through doing bits like this that are again unskippable and just take forever. But anyway, there's someone here trying to have a pee, so let's see if I can sneak up and kill him. So there we go, that's him dead. Although you mightn't have saw much because, again, part of the fact that the game was so violent and it nearly got banned, the whole reason that it was allowed to be released is because, unlike the first game, it was done like that, where everything goes red, flashy, impossible to see anything, and in all honesty it gives you a headache. Sure, there would have been another way to actually do that, without, like, make it less violent without doing that, and I'd have rather had that, because as I say, that really does give you a headache after a while. But, as I say, it's pretty much similar to the first game, stealth around, do things like that. That's pretty much what you're going to be doing the entire game. However, this one, the combat is a lot better, so sometimes fighting is an option. But you've got the bar on the right over there, which basically shows when you're stealth or not. That's also your energy bar, that's something that changed. Because before it had a picture of you, an energy bar and a stamina bar. Now you've got no stamina bar, and your stealth bar is also your health bar, so you've got to watch out, and it's very irritating when you're trying to keep an eye on, like, two things at once by looking at one bar. There's a few other things that come back from the first game though. You've got the radar, for example, and that shows up noise and picks up when enemies are able to see you or not see you and how alert they are of you. So that comes in handy for the stealth parts. But the game's also got some annoying things. Firstly, it's got Wii controls. There's no way to change it, so if you don't like it, then don't buy the game, because I'm not a huge fan of them. I like them when they're done well, but not all games can do them well, which is a shame. So this has got all sorts of weird manoeuvres and art that sees you having to, like, move both the Wiimote and nunchuck in an odd way, and like punching here, especially when you've got a camera in the way, can be a little tricky, because obviously the nunchuck's your left hand, the Wiimote's your right hand and that. So as I say, it's got Wii controls, no way to use a classic controller or anything, so watch out for that. The game's also got some parts where you're not even allowed to move the Wiimote or nunchuck at all. Sometimes when they're looking at you, and hopefully it'll happen now, because it happens when they're in deep concentration trying to find you, basically comes up a reticule and you've got a little dot, and if you move it all, then the dot moves, it moves out and they're able to see you. So that's something that's kind of improved upon, because in the first game, as in this one, the shadows aren't really shadows at all, and there's no way that these people should be able to, like, unable to see you, unless they've got so bad eyesight that it makes you think, how are they even able to walk? So at least they've tried to change that around a bit, which is quite a good thing. So as I say, it wasn't very believable in the first game, it's kind of not very believable in this game either. But the shadows aren't always there to protect you, because like the first game, if someone sees you running into the shadows, then they know you're there anyway, so you're pretty screwed with that. It's also not as long as the first game. This one's got 15 missions, although the 15th mission is split into two. After the credits you get to play as your sidekick who helps you out, and you get to finish his story off as well. So that's pretty cool, I suppose. Like the first game, it's also got pain pills that you have to get basically to heal yourself. And pretty much the only things I can really say is that I personally think it's a pretty fun game. I think it would have been a lot better had, to be fair, you've been able to use classic controllers, because as I say, sometimes the Wii controls can spoil it a bit. And I also think the camera could have done with a bit of work, because on the first game it was zoomed out more and it was much easier and it didn't really get in the way. But this one, when you're too close to walls and that, sometimes it can just, like, you can totally disappear, as can the entire stage, and you just don't know what's going on. But it is a fun game, and considering nowadays you can get it for dirt cheap, because I mean I bought this for less than £5 brand new, so it's one of them things that it's well worth £5. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you've enjoyed it, or at least found it helpful. You might have noticed I didn't score the game. Well, that's because it's a matter of personal opinion, and yours may very well differ from my own. I'm just here to show you a bit about the game. If you like it or not, well, that's up to you. If you don't like it, or you do like it, feel free to comment. Also, if I haven't answered any of your questions that you may have had, I might have forgot something, or it might just be something obscure. Again, feel free to comment, ask, always willing to help out. Otherwise, if you don't like commenting on YouTube, head over to www.vc-forums.com, where you can chat with me and a bunch of other lads who love the VC, the WiiWare, and hell, even a lot of other systems. We cater to pretty much everything. You can just go there, have a chat about a game, ask about some games, etc. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.